World Landmarks, a Bendon Reading Discovery. Written by Kathryn Knight. Some landmarks are very old, like the Colosseum. This old theater was built by the Romans between 70 and 80 AD, almost 2,000 years ago. It could hold 50,000 people. They watched gladiator fights, animal shows, and plays. And the entire bottom level could be flooded to hold boats for mock sea battles. And some are new. The Sydney Opera House. This beautiful theater opened in 1973, about 40 years ago. It sits on a point out in Sydney Harbour in Australia. It was designed by Jorn Utzon to look like nesting shells. Some landmarks are natural, like the Delicate Arch. This sandstone rock arch overlooks a desert valley. Wind and water loosen the sandy rock to form a window. And the Matterhorn. This looks like a pyramid, but it is a mountain in the Alps. Mountaineers have climbed this 14,693-foot rock, but not many. And some are man-made, like the pyramids of Giza. These pyramids were built 4,500 years ago as royal tombs for Egyptian rulers. The Great Pyramid was made with 2 million stone blocks. And the Gateway Arch. At 630 feet, this arch is the tallest monument in the United States. It was made with concrete and steel. It celebrates the city of St. Louis as the gateway to the West. Some landmarks in North America are the Statue of Liberty. This statue was a gift from France to the United States in 1886. It is a statue of Libertas, the Roman goddess of freedom. She is made of pure copper over a steel framework. She stands 151 feet tall atop a 154-foot base. Mount Rushmore. How did Gutzon Borglum carve these? 4 60-foot faces into a granite mountain with carefully placed dynamite. The sculpture honors 4 American presidents, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. The Grand Canyon. The Colorado River carved this deep canyon. All the colorful layers of rock are exposed, making this a grand sight. At its widest part, the canyon is 18 miles across. At its deepest part, it plunges more than a mile down. Now that's a canyon. Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is a set of huge waterfalls on the Niagara River. The most famous are Horseshoe Falls, located on the Canadian side. The water plummets through a thunderous roar and sends up a beautiful mist filled with rainbows. Mount Kilimanjaro. The equator runs through some of the hottest places on Earth, yet right near the equator, near the snow-capped peaks of Mount Kilimanjaro, its summit is the highest point in Africa, 19,340 feet up. Kilimanjaro is a Maasai word meaning large rock. The Great Enclosure in Zimbabwe. Some of the walls of this 700-year-old fortress are 20 feet thick. Some walls are 40 feet high. The granite stones fit tightly together with no cement or mortar. How did people do that? And who built it? No one knows for sure. The Great Sphinx of Giza. Near the pyramids of Giza rests the 4,500-year-old statue. It is 65 feet tall and 241 feet long. It has the head of a man and the body of a lion. Whose face is it? That is the riddle of the Sphinx. Machu Picchu. More than a mile up in the mountains of Peru lie the ruins of an ancient Incan city, Machu Picchu. It was built around 1450 AD. The buildings were all made with polished stone blocks without mortar. It's a long walk up to see this place. Angel Falls. Angel Falls is the world's highest free-falling waterfall. It plunges 3,212 feet from the top of a flat-topped mountain in Venezuela. The drop is so long that before the water reaches the bottom, it is blown by strong winds and becomes a lovely mist. Stonehenge. Out in an English field stand huge stones, some capped with other stones, formed in a circle. They are ancient, dating to 4,000 years ago. Who erected these 25-ton stones and why? Archaeologists are not sure. What do you think Stonehenge was used for? St. Basil's Cathedral. St. Basil's Cathedral was built by Ivan the Terrible and was completed in 1560 A.D. Originally it was painted white with gold onion domes. In 1860 the cathedral was repainted with colorful designs. Wouldn't that be a fun art project? The Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower was designed by Gustav Eiffel and built out of an iron in 1889 by 300 steel workers. It stands almost 1,000 feet high and was the world's tallest building until 1930. The paint that covers it weighs 40 tons. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. Ever since building began in 1173 A.D. on the bell tower of the Cathedral of Pisa, the tower has leaned. Over the next 200 years, builders tried to correct for the angle. Engineers still worked on it today to keep it from falling. The tower stands 186 feet on its higher side. Petra. This 2,000-year-old city was carved out of stone from the slopes of Mount Or. The many temples and buildings were chiseled by hand. It was lost for centuries and was rediscovered in 1812. Petra means rock in Greek. It is believed that at one time 21,000 people lived in Petra. The ruins of ancient Babylon are in an area once called Mesopotamia. The city may date to 2,300 BC. From 1770 to 1670 BC, it was the largest city in the world. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon are listed as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The Taj Mahal. When Emperor Shah Jahan's favorite wife died in childbirth, he was grief-stricken. He had a huge tomb built for her, which was finished in 1648. It is made of white marble and is inlaid with gemstones from around the world. 1,000 elephants were used to transport the building materials. The Great Wall of China. This earthen, wooden, stone, and brick wall is the world's longest man-made structure, 4,160 miles long. It was built by millions of workers starting around 500 BC to protect the northern borders of the Chinese Empire. It took about 1,000 years to build. The Great Barrier Reef. The Great Barrier Reef is the largest of all coral reef systems. It stretches 1,616 miles and includes 900 islands. It is home to colorful fish, sea anemones, starfish, sea turtles, sea snakes, crocodiles, dolphins, sharks, and whales. Of all the world's special places, this is one of the most beautiful landmarks.